Talking about three verts, and then these would be our three receivers we had last year. Um, with the way that we run our three vertical package, we've pretty much been able to eliminate calling another play as far as like another vertical play. So, a lot of people will teach three verts and they'll also teach four verts. We've kind of found a way to maybe kind of mesh those two things together, and it keeps the reads the same for our quarterback, and it also keeps the things, very, very simple for our guys. So we want to create explosive plays. We throw the ball deep with our three vert play, and then we're always going to have check downs underneath, or a lot of times if teams do want to, drop and play high zones, we'll have a quarterback that can run pretty well. So he takes off, and we consider that a check down as well. I think the most overlooked aspect, a lot of guys are like, we want to throw the ball deep. My second bullet point, you have to coach guys to be fast. I found that your post gets a lot better. Your go routes get a lot better when you have really fast guys. So, a lot of us will kind of play the card of, well, I don't have fast guys in school. I don't have this kind of talent. I think, with the technology that's out there today, and, some of the feed the cats principles and your track coaches, utilize those guys to create what we call a culture of speed. So we've done that here with Feed the Hawks at Ankeny, and our kids love it. They feel great. They compete all the time, and we see our explosives going up, and up. You see the safeties moving further back, the corners moving further back, and all of a sudden now there's a lot more lanes in our run game too. So it has a really big effect on everything you're trying to do on the offensive side. We give our guys a lot of freedom and choice here. So we read a lot of coverages. We read a lot of space. We give our guys the freedom to kind of set angles that make sense. I always hated that when coach said, this is the play we're running on the whiteboard, and we'd run it into bad defensive looks, repeatedly. Run it again. Well, coach, there's space open over here. Shut up, start running. I'm kind of the opposite, where now it's let's put a little bit more on the player and let them have some freedom and some choice. I put understanding space and leverage here, and then attacking accordingly. Everybody in America, when they know you run three verts, all of a sudden now you're going to see cover three. You're going to see, one high coverage to take away, quote, the post zone, the middle of the field. We figured out some ways to defeat one high coverages by moving splits, by maybe compressing splits, by stacking guys, to force DBs to play, their caps or play their leverage where we want it, have them outside, so we can really stem those guys, and then we can win back on the inside in space. So move your guys around to get the leverage that you want, and our guys understand that if you don't want to do it by alignment, motion your guys to be able to do that. And that kind of leads to the last part with the multiple looks and tags and same reads. I think I've done a 4-video series here on three verts, so I'll be able to share a little bit with what we do. But in 2x2, it's pretty simple. To the boundary side, we're running any smash combination. So any high-low combination, the most basic way we run it is just a fade out. So fade out would be our most basic smash combination. We always start here. If the Z receiver here can win versus this corner, we're throwing that vertical. And I'll show you guys some LSU film. You'll see, Burrow chucking it up there to Jamar Chase. It's the first read. Check the boundary. It's the shortest throw. Do we like the matchup? Crank that thing. Okay, and then the backside, we're going to end up getting our other two verticals, which you want to call double post or whatever it might be. So number 2 runs what we call a middle read. If he has the middle of the field open, we just say pipe it. So if you can run right down the pipe, you're going to run right down the pipe unmolested as fast as you possibly can. And you'll be that first read if we work double post. If the free safety caps this, okay, so I put my head up and he caps it, we can now snap that thing off and we take it on a different angle. Okay, if he would be in the middle of the field and I can cross, and I'll get into that here in a little bit, we'll cross his face. But we're always trying to create a high-low on the first safety inside of our two receivers. So in this case, it'd be the free safety. If they rolled cover 1 to the strong side, it would still be the free safety, okay? We like to stack because most teams aren't going to play a corner and inside leverage here. Okay, I've yet to play a team that if we line up on the hash, they play a corner inside leverage. I have never seen it. I hope we see it, because it's going to be really, really fun with all this space out here to throw verticals as well. So most of the time you'll get outside leverage corners. We'll stem and we'll beat it. So that's one of the ways we can defeat a lot of one high coverages, is by just moving your splits down inside. The 2 checkdowns will always have some sort of flat. Coach Moans just showed you guys, you mesh, you could put the tailback on the other side and you could cross these guys as well. But we're going to have 3 dudes deep and we're going to have 2 dudes in the flats. So really, really simple for the quarterback. Starting the boundary, and he's just working right across the field. Don't like the boundary, it becomes real easy. 1 to 2 to a check down, okay? The way that we really started running it in 3-by-1. So again, most teams would go to 3-by-1 and they start running maybe, 4 verticals against some of these teams that play, cover 3 with the roll down, or you'll see a lot more of these teams playing, mini, where they'll play, 10 on 10, and then they'll man up number 1 over here. I think they call it, stump and stubby, however you want to explain it, all the different terminologies that the defensive gurus use. But, our defense calls it mini. So we put it in initially as a mini beater. Well, then we saw it was a really good beater versus 1 high as well, because we're going to be able to high-low this guy. All right. If they do play a true version of, of poach, where they leave the safety in the run fit and then he works across to 3, we're still trying to high-low the free safety. Okay. So we'll end up just piping that, and he's going to have to be able to sit with his eyes and clear run, especially if we're giving a run fake. And then he's going to have to chase it. So this angle would change to more of right down the pipe, and then we're still getting this kind of seam post from this. And we just call this inside Saint. So we call our normal double post out of 2-by-2 Saint. When we want to call inside Saint, that just tells 2 and 3, those guys are going to be running inside, okay? We're still going to have a flat runner, but rather than sending him from the backfield, we're just going to leave him on a little fin route here, and he can just find space underneath. And I'll show you guys. This is pretty cool here because, again, he gets this whole side of the field underneath to be able to work. So he could run a hitch. He could run a fin. When we get the quarterback scrambling to his side, he'll wheel out of it. There's all kinds of cool things that we end up hitting over here by, not really on purpose, just kind of stuff that we do. But, again, teams that want to play the safety in the middle of the field, it gives us an answer to be able to do that. You can motion to it. There's a bunch of different ways you can get to it, okay?